Alrighty, traders, this is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the daily Roundup webinar. I hope everybody's having a great trading session. And, you know, one thing that's a little irritating right now is I was just putting together a US dollar Norwegian krona post that I'm going to be publishing here on our blog shortly. I was just putting it together. So I'll write that up for you guys. I'll finish it up. I was just working on it. Literally the last like 20 minutes or so. To make a long story short, I think that the US dollar Norwegian krona really forged its key resistance this week. And so we got to pay attention to it, because I think that if it breaks, it's going to give us a little bit more idea of what to expect from other assets moving forward. So anyway, keep your eye on the US dollar Norwegian krona. Then, Lorraine, hold on. Do you guys not hear me? Test, can you hear me? Oh, yeah, okay. Lorraine, okay, you guys can't hear me. All right, just making sure. Okay, good. Lorraine said she couldn't hear me at first. Lorraine. Lorraine. Yeah, I had to close the door. Anyway, so that's what something I was just up to. If you were in the chat room, you know, I sold a little sterling at 140. I closed it at 139.67. You know, so I wait. I thought I only made 30. Hold on, let me see. I closed it at sold it at 140. Where did I close it at? Oh, here. Wrong platform. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Anyway, I closed it. I closed the cable like right here at like 67. I actually made 30 some odd pip, but the position wasn't big. But you guys, if you're not, you know, if you weren't in the chat room, you probably noticed, because I by the way, I have a bigger position or bigger order placed at 140.15 that didn't get triggered. But I figured I'd, you know, start a trade, because when I did this update right here, that was like, I'm like, you know what, we're at 140. I'm going to go ahead and sell a little bit, and I did, and it dropped pretty quick after that. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's going to get back to 140.15. I'm hoping it does, but I kind of hope it does. But then on the flip side, I kind of hope it doesn't. I'd rather just see a dollar bounce from here, you know. Now let me show you a couple things that are suggesting that we might see that. So if you go over to the euro, this push above like these highs right here, this 38% retracement, you can see this you know, horizontal resistance here. That might have been you know, just a squeezed everybody out type of trade. But you can see it, it's not, you know, it's obviously you're seeing it in the cable too. The Aussie, a little bit as well. You know, the Kiwis holding up fairly well. Dollar Canadian, little flush down towards, you know, this is channel support actually. Shoot. Okay, channel support. So I think that the dollar might have put in its low intraday. We'll see. Okay, we'll see. I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, by the end of the day, we'll see what happens. But also the S&P, you can see we're struggling up here. So if the S&P can just carve out a lower high, that would be fantastic. Look, I don't really care at this point that if we do this. over the course of the next couple of weeks, which I think realistically it probably is going to be the case as we are faced with Jackson Hole. You know, people might be like, hey, you know, wait, Jackson Hole in August might be where they announce some big policy shifts. So especially if, you know, inflation data continues to be strong, blah, blah, blah. So you might just get some consolidation. I was really, really hoping the stock market was going to show us some, you know, bigger move lower and bigger range. But I just don't, after like the price action this week, I'm very disappointed that the market feels like there's no follow through. Now, that doesn't mean that we won't. It just, you know, I think the chances of us seeing 4,000 on the S&P right now ahead of August is the chance of us trading below 4,000 in the S&P is going to be very low probability, in my opinion, based on the information I have right now. What could happen between now and then, though? My opinion is, you know, cryptocurrencies could really come under pressure. You know, there's an outside shot that there could be some regulation in the crypto space. If there is, the cryptocurrency market will get hit hard. And if they get hit hard, will it spill over into other markets? I think it will. So, you know, like I said, anything can happen. And something like that is, I don't want to say it's a black swan event, but that would be a catalyst to drive some selling into the market, in my opinion. And for me and you, really all I care about right now is volatility, right? It's like, I honestly, if this happens, like this, let me just do the S&P and let me do my drawing really fast. Okay, let me draw for you. Okay, so I could care less if we did this. Won't, and we just continue to move higher over time. That's fine. But this is the kind of volatility I want to see, right? What we're getting right now is this. And that sucks. It sucks for you and sucks for me. And so if you're a crypto person, you know, sorry if I say that and it's offensive. Like I hope they regulate the hell out of cryptocurrencies. They should. I think every government will, because I think it's a risk to the system, Bitcoin and all that stuff. So, you know, a move like that would create, damn it, that's not what I want. A move like that would create some downside inequities, I think. And like I said, I don't think it's the end of equities by any stretch of the means, but I think that, you know, move down to 4,000 would be great, because then we get pushed back up to 4,500 and then move down. And volatility like that would be good for us, for traders, you know, because this lack of volatility when you know, VIX is below 20 is sad. VIX above 20, good. VIX below 20, not good. You know, VIX above 25, much better. You know, so I just, again, you and I, we pray for volatility. And you know what? I live on the West Coast. You know what else I'm praying for? You know what else I'm praying for? I live on the West Coast of the United States. What do you think? Come on, Looney. I'm with you, Tony. Let's go. I'm praying for rain. We're going through a massive drought here, and it's very, very scary where I live. You know, if you live in you know, in the United States, but from like the middle United States, middle America to the east, you're fine. But where I live, and we're in a massive drought, and we have massive wildfires right now, and I feel for all the people that are getting displaced, and it's really going to put a strain on us where I live. So I pray for volatility and I pray for rain. So if you could just bless us with those two things, This would be a happy guy right here. So let's talk about what a little bit more volatility it will do. Well, I do think the dollar Mexican peso is probing through these lows, but remember, it's a long day. It's not anywhere close to being done. Right now, that candle looks bearish. This is a bearish continuation candle. We are trying to find support here. I thought we'd find support a little higher. That's why I'm long a little higher. But I still think the dollar Mexican peso could be very well supported if we see equities come under a little bit of pressure. One of the things that also makes me believe that we might see some pressure in equity. I got to get this post out quick. I think crude saw its highs today. If this candle closes red, that's not what I want to do. If this candle closes red, if this candle closes red, no. No. Anyway, you get the picture. If that candle closes red, I think that's good. It's good for the Norwegian krona to go down. It's good for the Canadian to move lower. I think we might see a little reversal on the dollar Canadian here. I think we have this little wedge that's developing. We need to get really back above 123.25. So we got about 30 more pips before that happens. If it's going to happen, equities are under a little pressure. Dow's at its lows of the session. NASDAQ's starting to show some weakness, but remember, we are also just 2 days from all-time highs, right? So, yeah. So that's what I'm thinking at this moment. What else did I want to bring to your attention? Oh, dollar Canadian. Speaking of the Canadian, we're up against some pretty good resistance. This is previous channel resistance. I know I sent you guys an update via ForexAnalytix. I would argue that head and shoulder patterns very rarely complete all the way. So when you get 3/4 of the way, you could almost argue that that's completed. Pretty damn close. I mean, we might stretch a little further, but that may work. The Aussie dollar, Aussie yen's up against some resistance here. So I think that we might be able to see a little bit of a reversal on some of these yen pairs, especially if equities do come under a little bit of pressure. Gold is coming back down, right? So gold coming down might move the markets a little bit. Amira says, was wise rabbi in the days of the Second Temple. He was wise in the days of the Second Temple. Peter says, hey, Blake, not easy watching you and 2 soccer matches simultaneously. That is the same problem you and half of Europe and most of our chat room has. That's for sure. All right, guys. Have a great one. I want to thank you all for being here, and I will see you later. I'm done. I'm donezo. Stick a fork in me. Bye-bye.